Hello, people, and welcome back to the channel. This is SJ's Corner. Today, I have a little bit of a sad one for y'all. I'm going to be going over the miscues by the Baltimore Ravens that cost them so dearly and ended their season against the Buffalo Bills this past weekend. Ah, watching this was painful for me. I ain't gonna lie because I really did want Lamar Jackson to get off the hump. But just watching over the film, you can just see how they move the ball at will whenever they want, and they just can't seem to get out of their own way. And it's going to lead us to the topic of speaking about psychology of sports and competing at a high level. Just being able to kind of hone in, especially when things aren't going right, and being able to just concentrate as a group, right, to get our common goal done, which is a W. And you could just see, man, why this game is such an ultimate team sport, and how basically if you have one person mess up, sometimes it can lead to multiple mistakes, not by that same person, but by other people. And it can lead to obviously you underperforming as a team, even though, you still do the things you want to do just based on your talent. So, yeah, before we get into the video, if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Help me get to 500 subscribers. If you also been here for a while, no problem. Hit that like button for me. And yeah, let's get into the video. So right off the jump, we're just gonna see an unforced interception by Lamar Jackson. It's actually a pretty good release here by Rashad Bateman. Let's go right to the top again. So Rashad Bateman is the receiver right here. So if I slow this down, actually, you can see he actually shifts this DB with a nice 1-2 jab. You can see the DB is just trying to reach, right? But he shifted him completely out of his cushion. He has a corner route, right? And Lamar Jackson throws this early. But it's weird because, I don't know, like going through practice and stuff, you learn to know what angle your receivers are coming out of their breaks on. And this is just a total, it's not even close. Like you want to say, oh, the receiver should keep this higher, but there is no way the receiver is coming out the angle, like, and the ball is like not even close. And you can see it's just another miscommunication, unforced error. Actually, during the game, they got away with this because their defense had made a stop. So that was their second drive, right? The first drive, they drove the field, scored. This drive came up, receiver wide open, miscommunication on, the angle that we're going to be throwing that corner out. So this is the next drive again that they get an opportunity on, right? So you see, I think this is a third down conversion they had. It's actually a pretty good play call. They have sort of like a pick play. Andrews look like he's running in route. So Andrews is right here, the tight end. He's faking like, he's trying to run a route, but really he's just setting a pick. And it's a nice completion, right? Good job of looking the ball in. And I'm saying this because it's going to come to rear his ugly head in the next clip, right? Especially on this drag route, receivers are very prone to like wanting to turn their head to run before they catch the ball. But here, the receiver, Scott Miller, I believe, does a good job of looking the ball in first before turning to run. Okay? And now we're going to see a similar type of in pattern, but this time it's going to be by the tight end again, Mark Andrews. Okay? Let's see if he's able to convert on his in pattern. Decent job of getting open with his hands, but he drops it. Okay, and this is another drive, right, where they drove like literally 30, 40 yards. The Buffalo Bills cannot stop them at all, right? But we get a mistake there. Okay, so I really just want you to watch Andrews again. So he does a good job of getting open. And now look at his eyes, okay? As the balls are arriving on target. All right, this is a good ball. You can see him turning his head already, right? So you can see just a slight move of the helmet. Look where it goes. And then once he sees he doesn't have it, he looks back at it, right? So just another classic case of not being able to focus, right? And just do the basic things well. And, okay, this is literally the next play, right? Watch how basically a drive that you've gone about 60, 50 yards already. One drop. And the next play is a bad snap, right? And now Lamar Jackson's obviously trying to be Lamar Jackson, but sometimes it's weird because obviously this is what he's known for as being such a great player. When the play is goes off script, he's able to make something out of nothing. But there's an argument to be said that sometimes less is more. Sorry, or it's better to do less. Okay, less is more, right? And he's trying to make a play, like he does a good job of catching it here, but now he fakes and now he gets the ball in his one hand, and now it's here. It's like he's got a hold of your leg. Like, just take the sack. It's okay. Like, if you get a field goal here, it's not the end of the world. But now we're forgetting our basics, right? Especially in the playoffs where every possession is so precious. Now we got one hand on the ball, and I know he's video game like mode, but you can't do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, one hand of the ball, two, three defenders on your neck, right? It's just one person makes a basic drop of not looking the ball on a catch, and now the next play Lamar just taking two hands off the football and leaving one in. Right on that play, Buffalo goes in and Josh Allen punches in for a touchdown on a quarterback sneak, I believe. Right, so this is the next opportunity again. Baltimore gets to drive the field, right, and you just look at this clips. It's Baltimore driving the field at will, repeatedly, right. So this should have been a flag. I don't know how this is not a flag, but here nothing is open really. A lot of displays you're gonna see. Oh, the Buffalo defense, they cover the concepts really well on the first glance, but then it's Lamar Jackson, right? There's a different phase of that play where it goes off script and he's able to make plays. Right here, you got one, two defenders on him. No one's able to get a hand on him. Right? It's too easy for him. And how is this not a flag, by the way? If this was Patrick Mahomes, this guy would have had $100,000 fine waiting for him in his locker. That's it's a hip drop tackle. Shout out to O lineman that does something here. So this is another play after that. That Russian play by Lamar Jackson, right? So you can see here Lamar Jackson is gonna show off his arm strength. Go back, go back, go back. Play, like a pump fake. The pump fake looks so unnecessary here, but it's a laser, right? And it doesn't look like a big deal, but imagine if Lamar, right? And this is a good throw. I'm not saying this is not a bad throw, but again, Bateman is wide open, right? But there's this whole space of field to throw him to. The safety's too low, right? The safety's too low, but this ball, I know it's on the call or whatever, and I'm being a little bit nitpicky, but this throw causes him to stop his feet, and he gets tackled on the 2 yard line, right? But you lead him over here, and it's a touchdown, right? And I'm saying this because what happens on the next set of plays, okay? First down, right? We're trying to get the ball to Derrick Henry, no problem. I have no problem with that play call. He gets maybe half a yard or he gets no gain, no problem. Why don't we give it to him again? You know what I'm saying? Why don't we give it to him? Instead, we try a play action pass, okay, where the defense basically drop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 defenders, right? And already a tight part of the field, which is the red zone, right? No space. Okay, can we throw this ball away? But even too, how? Let's go back to this. They rush only 3. The Buffalo D line. How are we still getting pressure on Lamar Jackson? I have no clue. It's just like I don't love the play call, but why the O linemen are out here on the beach, bro? We got 2, 3, 4, 5 guys not doing anything, and we get a sack. On a good day, you only get 3 rushes. Lamar has basically 7, 8 seconds because he's that good of a scrambler. He probably puts that into the end zone. But okay, we didn't have a ideal play call and then the lineman basically decided not to block, and now we've compounded the error from a bad play call to bad blocking to getting a sack when we're just on the 2 yard line, basically. Okay, so that's literally what was happening to the Ravens all day. Okay, so now basically it's third down, right? They drop, and again, bodies, nowhere to go with a football. So instead of a drive ending with a touchdown, right, where we got the ball to our receiver on the 2 yard line, now we're going away with a field goal. Okay. Okay, so this is the next drive. Okay, I'm just showing you this because that's how dominant they were at times running the football or making plays, whether it was through the pass, right? And I think this is the first drive of the second half. Okay, so they're doing a good job of driving down the field, and now it looks like, sorry if I go a little bit back, this looks like, oh, it's such a bad pass by Lamar, and you can argue obviously he's throwing this off platform, like, not really, he still got his 2 feet on the ground. It looks like, oh, it's a bad pass by Lamar, but look at this, bro. I played receiver before. I can tell, like, okay, if a ball is just ridiculously, like, too far. What is what is what is the excuse for Andrews not diving at this ball? Right? This is like a half-hearted attempt. Look where that ball is, and we know how big Mark Andrews is. 6'4", 6'5", tight end, 260, 250, whatever he is. If you just at least try to help your quarterback out a little bit. This is the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And you already had that drop from earlier. You should be like doing your best, right, to try to make a play for your quarterback. And that was the end of that drive, right? They kicked the field goal coming out of halftime, right? So they could have had 3 touchdown minimum at this point, but they only have 13 points or whatever it is. You get what I'm saying? So now, just the next drive, they drove the whole field, running the ball over and over with Derrick Henry, and I'm just showing you how dominant they were, right? So this time they basically just F it. We're just gonna drive the entire field, and they did it. Scored a touchdown, right? They're all hype, all right. And this is kind of like the point. What I'm trying to say is like, okay, I get that we messed up in the first half, but second half we go in out of the locker room. We've talked about clutching up, everyone being on your P's and Q's, and you can still see sometimes people are just not at that level of kind of concentration, or in sync with their teammates. And you can see for this one drive, they basically dominated. But now we're going for the 2-point conversion, right? And this is not like so much of a concentration thing, but it's just a little thing, right? This guy is wide open. And it's kind of a hell of a play by the D lineman, but you're going to see it on the tight line. Can Lamar throw this pass with a little bit more of a touch? I think so, right? We don't have to throw this ball on the line. It's Isaiah Likely, right? He's a big guy, big tight end, big target. We can throw this ball with a little bit more touch. So go over here. I loft it. More like this. Okay? So it makes it harder on a defender to touch, to get to the trajectory of the ball. But we throw it on the line, and he makes a hell of a play. Like, I mean, we have to say that, but we can control if he even gets a chance to make that play, right? So it's tough, but like whatever. Like, it's not the end of the world. We're down 1, at this point of the game. Okay, next drive, right? And I'm showing you this because it's like weird because Mark Andrews does some good things in this game, but then it was just inconsistent play after inconsistent play. I do one good thing, now I'm doing one bad thing. It's like a 50% play, 15% performance type of stuff. Right? They do a good job of having him on the QB sneak, and he does a great job leg driving and pushing the pile. No problem. Okay? Next play. Now, okay, you get a catch wide open. We just had a QB sneak, right? You understand this defense. No, they don't really have a chance against you, except they turn you over. That must have been what they were talking about in halftime. But, okay, we're a big tight end. We catch the ball. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we decide we want to cut it back, no problem. But you need to understand they're hunting the football. You got to secure the ball. Instead, we're carrying it like a loaf of bread. You know, one thing about the NFL and this defense is they understand how to be opportunistic. It's the playoffs. They want the ball. They can't stop you. They're gonna start trying to rip that ball up. It's just so unfortunate. Just like the awareness is lacking. At like critical parts of this game. And now Buffalo go down the other end. They get a field goal. Your defense does a good job of holding them. Okay, last drive of the game, basically. Lamar Jackson time. And I just want you to watch. None of this plays are necessarily on script. It's all off script. Okay, here again, receiver does a good job of scrambling, catches the ball, but you can see their lack of awareness with the pursuit of the Buffalo defenders. And, they're fighting for their lives too. So literally, they see a player catches the ball, everyone is pursuing. Everyone's pursuing. And that's one thing you have to give credit for the Buffalo defense for. Everyone's pursuing. Here we go again. Punch the ball out. It almost comes out. If you see the slow-mo of that in the game, the ball almost comes out. Is again, where's the awareness? Where's the awareness? Okay, here's Mark Andrews getting an easy catch. Okay, it feels like if anything was not in his body frame, he wasn't going to catch it today. It was weird, from someone that's so great as a tight end, right? Look at Likely making a play. Again, it's off script play. It's not an easy catch. This is a decent, like a difficult catch, like a decently difficult catch, if that makes sense. Likely makes the play. That's what we want to see. You got to help your quarterback out, man. You know, the lineman's doing a good job of blocking. Wish we had that earlier during the game. That's a hell of a catch. Okay? That's a hell of a catch, right? One thing about this is, some people can just fall flat on your face trying to catch this. You can see there's an art to this. It's called having ball skills. Okay, you're catching this ball, keeping the ball off the turf, and you're rolling, right? You're shielding it basically with your back. That's a hell of a catch. Okay, A plus. Especially at that time of the game, it's a clutch catch. And here's the play everyone's talking about. This is just a simple rub play, right? Great call during the game. If it's not here, Lamar can take it and run it in if they over pursue. But you can see the rub coming in from Bateman, and then you have Likely on the corner over top. Okay, so Bateman's going to come, set a rub, and he's going to hook right here in the zone. And they do a good job of executing, right? And people are like, oh, Lamar Jackson, just throw it now. Bro, he's waiting for him to get open. That's why it does, but it doesn't matter. As a receiver, if this thing hits our chest plate anywhere, like our two hands on the ball, right? I've seen difficult catches. This catch wasn't just as difficult as the one that Likely just made. We got to catch the football, fellas. And this is what I'm saying. It was just, anytime they seemed to get something going, it was just something else would happen, right? And unfortunately for Andrews, this is one of the worst games I've seen in terms of concentration and just being able to clutch up for your teammates. It was bad. It was so bad. And it's weird because I don't normally attribute, like, okay, lackadaisicalness to him, or just, I don't know, his body language seemed off. He seemed like it wasn't confident. It seemed like it was too cold. I don't know. But this is the part of the game where it's like your psychology needs to be up, that your mental fortitude needs to be up, that you need to be locked in at all times of the game, especially in a clutch game like this, especially in a clutch drive. I get it, the first half didn't go as well, but make sure those mistakes don't happen again, right? As a team, that's what you need, right? And it just seemed to not happen for them. It's gonna look like like another season basically where you just wasted. I won't call it complete waste, but you guys might have been really the best team in the NFL, but you don't have a chance to prove it because you can't just seem to get out of your own way. So, yeah, let me know. Again, maybe I do think some of the criticism that Andrews has gotten has been harsh because people turn it to be personal. But in terms of football-wise, man, just looking over the tape, it's really bad. There's nowhere else to look at it. But yeah, let me know. Do you think it's just necessarily the whole turnovers they had, especially in the first half, or do you think after they came out the half, they're supposed to flush it out, sorry, and then you're supposed to be more locked in and execute on a higher level going into the second half. And I've had games like that where I played like that. Okay, first half didn't go good, but second half we get a bit elite in terms of our execution and performance. And it didn't happen for the Ravens a second season in a row. You get so yeah. Let me know if you like the video. Comment. Let me know what you think about the Ravens and the season. Do you think the Buffalo Bills will have a chance to upset the Kansas City Chiefs as they go into um Mahomes' world and Kelsey's world and Taylor Swift's world over there? And yeah, thanks again for watching the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.